Students, families, counselors, good morning, and thank you so much for joining the Spokane T24 circuit. This virtual college fair is sponsored by the T24 organization and StriveScan. A few housekeeping items before we begin with today's college fair. First and foremost, you are encouraged to ask questions throughout the panel via the Q&A button that you see on your screen. When you submit a question, it gets sent to all of our panelists, and they're going to work to answer the question during the session and at the end of the session as well. If you have a question about a specific institution, please make sure to indicate that in your question. So you can ask general questions in which all of our panelists will answer it. A general question would be, tell me about life on campus. How's your biology program? And then all of the institutions will be able to give you some links and give you some responses. If it's a very specific question, hey, Pace College, tell me about life on campus, make sure to indicate that in your question so that they specifically can answer your question. Each of the institutions will be presenting for 6 minutes, but will be able to answer questions the entire time. So you don't need to wait until that institution's presenting to ask that question. As a reminder, your camera and your microphone are turned off. The panelists cannot see or hear you. So any questions you have should just come in through the Q&A. And we encourage you to check out the other T24 sessions that are running through tomorrow as well. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Skylar, who can grab screen share from me and present on Grand Canyon University.
All right, good morning, you guys. Let's get this rolling. Can everybody see that?
Looks good.
Awesome, thank you. All right, my name is Skylar Hong. I am the Spokane admissions counselor for Grand Canyon University. I live locally here in Spokane, grew up in Washington, graduated from GCU myself, and now get to help other seniors in high school kind of figure out if GCU is going to be a good fit for them or not. So just some general background. We're going to speed through this because we got 6 minutes, but GCU is a private Christian university in Phoenix, Arizona. You do not have to be a Christian to attend, but that is kind of the foundation of the university, and there's a lot of opportunities throughout your time at GCU to grow your faith if you want to, but you are not required to. We've been around since 1949 and have about 22,000 students on our on-ground campus down in Phoenix and about 60,000 students who attend the university online. Our average class size is about 25. We have classrooms that range from that small all the way up to about 100 students, so you never would be in a class larger than that. That's our huge priority to us as a university, keeping those student and professor relationships strong, giving you the space so that you can get to know your professors and get your questions answered and really have that support throughout your time at GCU. So you're so much more than just a number to us, and you really are able to connect with your professor well and really connect with your peers as well better in those small class sizes. We have over 200 majors and programs at GCU. We're a pretty STEM-heavy program, so about 60 to 70% of our students are studying something STEM or business related. So we have a lot of pre-health programs, so pre-medicine, pre-PT, pre-PA, engineering, computer science, kind of all across the board. I personally graduated with a degree in business management and loved my experience at GCU. So if there's anything specific that you're looking for, just let me know and I can let you know if we offer it or not. One of the best ways to get connected on campus is through living on campus, but you're not required to live on campus as a freshman. The GCU community is something really special. It's what most graduates will say was their favorite part of the university, just with the dynamics of those small class sizes, the fun events that we put on campus, and then the different activities we'll just do in the dorm. So this is kind of an aerial view of what an average GCU dorm looks like. So you have a living room, 2 bedrooms, your own bathroom that you're sharing just with your other roommate, and then a walk-in closet. So it's kind of like a mini apartment just without the kitchen. There are apartments available to incoming freshmen as well, but this is like the least nice dorm option on campus. The oldest dorm was built only about 10 years ago. We have done a lot of just renovating and building new classrooms and buildings and labs. So campus as a whole has a very modern feel about it, and we are running virtual live tours every day of the week. So if you need more information about seeing those, I'd love to connect with you more on that. While you are living or going to school on campus, you should probably eat some food. That was one of my favorite parts of college, was that we had 2 Chick-fil-A's on campus. But this is just an overview of the different food options that we have, everything from healthy to not super healthy options. But yeah, you won't go hungry, that's for sure. We are a Division I athletic school. We have 21 Division I teams. If you are not quite at the D1 level but want to play sports throughout your time in college, you can do club sports, which we have a huge club sports program, as well as intramurals, everything from softball and sand volleyball to pickleball and spike ball that you can just play with your friends for intramurals. Cost-wise, we are pretty similar to your average public Washington university, which is kind of crazy being a private Christian school. We don't have out-of-state tuition. We've locked in our tuition at $16,500 for the past 11 years, which is pretty remarkable. So at the end of the day, depending a little bit on your major, GCU's total cost of attendance, including living on campus, everything, is right around that $25,000, $26,000 a mark. But once you're accepted, you are receiving automatic academic scholarships listed out here. So we have always been a test optional school, so we primarily will look at your GPA for acceptance, but should you have tested really well on the ACT or SAT, if you got the chance to do so before things were kind of shutting down, you can always jump up higher in your scholarship level. So those range from just under $3,000 up to just over $9,000. So big next steps for you guys to focus on right now, especially if you're maybe a junior or senior in high school, is to start looking at all the school options out there for you. But for us specifically, it's going to be really beneficial to apply now. Our application is free. There's no essay. It takes 10 to 15 minutes to complete. And then from there, I will connect with you. I'll reach out for a copy of your high school transcripts and then start walking you through the process, putting together an estimated budget sheet to go over with you and a parent. We can set up a one-on-one appointment. I'm doing primarily Zoom right now, but as things are opening, I meet at coffee shops here in Spokane just to get to know you and walk you through the process, because it can feel kind of overwhelming and like a lot. So just wanted to be that kind of hand holding through the process. We are doing Discover GCU trips and trip reimbursement options this year. So a lot of Spokane students know about our Discover trips. That's where you get to fly down to campus. We're primarily probably going to be doing those in the spring. So I can pass along all the information about that. But again, the first thing that you guys need to do is just complete our application. Here's my contact info. Feel free to take a picture, send me a text if you want me to shoot over the application link. And I would love to see you on our Q&A breakout session. Thanks so much. Send it on back over to Zach.
Thanks so much, Skylar, for sharing that information. You'll notice here we are in the out-of-state private session here, so that we will go in this order. Next up is Pace College, and as Pace is taking over screen share from me, I will go ahead and remind all of you that you are encouraged to ask questions. Use that Q&A button that you see on your screen. Those questions get sent to all of the panelists, and they'll work to answer the question during the session. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Pace University.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Drennan. I am an undergraduate admission counselor at Pace University. Pace University is a 4-year private university located in New York. We do have 2 campuses. We have our downtown New York City campus, and we have our Westchester County campus. So our New York City campus is in downtown Manhattan, right in the financial district. We are about a block away from the Brooklyn Bridge. We're a couple blocks away from the Freedom Tower, and we're a 5-minute walk away from Wall Street. So it's a pretty cool area of New York City. Another cool thing about our New York City campus is a lot of city schools are spread out, but Pace is not. It is all within a 5-block radius of each other. So you never have to take the subway to get to class. Everything is right there in walking distance. So it's very convenient. Oops, sorry. We have 4 residence halls on the New York City campus. 2 are primarily for freshmen. One of them is called 182 Broadway, and it's more suite style, so it will be 3 or 4 people in a room and shared bathrooms just with the people in your room. And then Maria's Tower is a few blocks away, and that's more corridor style, so it will be 2 people in a room and you share a bathroom on the floor. Maria's Tower is actually on top of our main building, One Piece Plaza, which means the gym, the library, the cafeteria, all of that is a quick and easy elevator right away. If it was pouring outside, you wouldn't even need to leave the building. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years as long as you submit your deposit before May 1st, but it is also never required. So you could live on campus or off campus, that is completely up to you. And then our Westchester County campus is just north of New York City. It's a more suburban campus, and it's a more traditional college campus. You do kind of get the best of both worlds because you have that closed traditional college campus, but you do still have access to New York City. We do have a free shuttle that runs between the two campuses. And if you want to take the Metro North, the public transit system, it's only about 40 minutes into New York City. If you're interested in sports, we are Division II, and all of our athletes do live on the Westchester campus. So all of our sports do take place on the Westchester campus. At PACE, we have something that we call the PACE Path. It's kind of like an individualized roadmap for each student. So it's how we combine your academic growth, your personal growth, and your professional growth. So each student, when they come to PACE, is required to take a class called University 101. It is a pass-fail course, so it's completely for the student's benefit, and it is taught by an academic advisor. And they will ask you questions such as, do you want to study abroad? Do you want to add a second major? What kind of clubs do you want to join? How many internships do you want to do? Just so that you can start planning your 4 years at PACE, so you can make sure you can get everything you want to do in those 4 years and still graduate in those 4 years. So it's kind of like a transitioning class from being a senior in high school to a freshman in college. It's almost like having a guidance counselor or a school counselor once you get to college. A little bit about our academics. We do have more than 150 undergraduate majors at PACE. For the most part, the majors overlap between campuses, but there are some that are specific to campus. For example, our School of Performing Arts is only offered on the New York City campus, and our nursing program is only offered on the Westchester campus. So just keep in mind when you're applying for a specific major, you can see on our website which campus they're offered on. But for the most part, they do overlap. Our average classroom size is about 18 to 20 students in a classroom. So fairly small classroom sizes. You get a lot of one-to-one time with your professor. You're never sitting in a huge lecture hall with 300 students. You can really get those one-on-one time with your professor. And up on the screen is our different schools that we have. Here at PACE, we want you getting out of the classroom. We want you getting that hands-on experience. Some of our students will do 2, 3, 4 internships during their time at PACE. Sometimes it's a paid internship, sometimes it's for class credit. But being in the New York metro area, there is really no shortage of companies looking for those young interns. If you're a business major, but you want to maybe do an internship that relates to biology, you can do that as well. Any internship is open to any major, and you won't be alone in looking for those internships. You can go to the Career Center as early as your first semester freshman year, and our career advisors will help you build your resume. They'll do practice mock interviews with you. They'll help you write your cover letters. Even if you're an undecided major and you have no idea where you want to intern, you can go and tell them where you're interested, and they'll tell you where they've sent students in the past and help you apply to those places. So there are no shortage of internships in the New York metro area. And a little bit about our financial aid and scholarship. When you apply, you are automatically considered for merit scholarship, so you do not need to do anything extra. All you need to do is apply, and you have that automatic consideration. Scholarship can range from $10,000 to $29,000 per year, and you would find that out when you get your decision letter. And then financial aid, you can apply through the FAFSA, the Free Federal Financial Aid, and receive grants and loans. As you can see up on the slide, more than 95% of our students do receive some sort of financial aid, so the vast majority of students are not paying the full sticker price tuition. And a little bit about our application requirements. We are on the Common App, as well as we have our own PACE University application, so whichever is easier for you. The average GPA for an incoming freshman is a 3.3, but that is the average. We do have a very holistic reviewing process of the application. We really want to understand where you're coming from as an applicant. We are now fully test optional. You will still be considered for the Honors College, and you will still be considered for merit scholarship. Then 2 letters of academic recommendation and your essay or personal statement. These are our deadlines. As you can see, we do have early decision, which is the binding application, or early action. And just keep in mind that our School of Performing Arts and our nursing programs do have specific deadlines. But for all other programs, you can apply regular decision or even rolling admission after February 15th. So a few different opportunities for when you can apply. And this is my contact information. It has the Zoom information if you want to come meet with me after this, but feel free to jot down my email and let me know if you have any questions throughout the whole application process. I will be happy to connect with you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jess. And now we're moving on to the University of Redlands. So University of Redlands, feel free to grab my screen share from me. And a reminder to all of you, if you want to ask your questions, feel free to use that Q&A button to submit your questions. And University of Redlands, still no screen share, almost. There we go, Anna,
Here we
you're all
go.
set.
We're set.
Excellent. There we go. Take it away, Anna.
Great, thanks so much. So you're halfway there, folks. So my name is Anna Egeter, and I'm from the University of Redlands. Redlands is in Redlands, California. We're excited to introduce you to the campus. So in Redlands, California, we are just east of the greater Los Angeles area. We are a community of about 70,000 community members in the city of Redlands, and Redlands, the university, is about 2,400 students. The benefits of having access to a city is that there's internship opportunities, research, opportunities for just museums, and also just straight fun. But in and around the city of Redlands, we have a really close-knit community and great access to a lot of opportunities. What's not on this map is actually just to the north of us, just to the east of us, and just to the south of us. You're going to find actually an outdoor mecca of Southern California. And it's easy to forget that there's outdoors in addition to the city in Southern California. So we're about an hour and 15 minutes from Big Bear, which is downhill skiing, Joshua Tree and Coachella Valley, about an hour and a half to the east of us. And so our outdoors program is actually one of our largest organizations. We really stress taking advantage of the city and taking advantage of the outdoors. So we're a campus of liberal arts and sciences plus pre-professional programs, and we have about 40 different academic majors. We want you to explore widely, and one of the hallmarks of a Redlands experience is a very flexible academic program. We want you to take in courses in lots of different ways, think about how they might interconnect together, because really things do interconnect in so many different ways. We're a campus that is small, and so you're going to connect closely with your faculty as well as your classmates, and our average class size is 19. Your academic advisor, as you start the University of Redlands, is a faculty member that teaches you in first semester. Why is that important? He or she knows you as a student. You've sat in class with them twice, probably 3 times a week, and they know you, you know them, and you're really solidifying a really great relationship right from the very beginning. We want you to create a really solid academic path as you're getting started, and again, explore widely throughout. Why are we so flexible? That flexibility comes a lot from our Johnston program. And Johnston, admittedly, is a college within the university. Not everyone is a part of Johnston. About 50 students a year join Johnston, but Johnston has been a part of Redlands for over 50 years. Johnston students build and create their own academic program from the ground up, so they have kind of ultimate freedom and flexibility. It's not for everybody. Again, not everyone applies to Johnston, and it tends to attract those students that want to do something totally different. But it really has impacted the rest of campus in terms of integrative learning, in terms of hands-on learning, and in terms of flexible learning. Another unique aspect of Redlands is a May term. So during the month of May, students just take a single class. We have 2 semesters that are traditional in many senses, and then that 1-month May term allows you to dive in deep. It's meant to be a class that's experiential, a little bit different. You can see some of the examples of the classes there. And Internet Afterlife is a fun one. Essentially, what happens to all your stuff once you put it out there into the internet? There's a lot of questions as it relates to that. Over half of our students study abroad, and that's something that I'd encourage you to look at no matter where you go to college. And at Redlands, it's definitely stressed. We have our own campus in Salzburg, Austria, but we also partner with about 100 other programs throughout the world that students can take advantage of. And during the month of May, there's actually 12 to 15 travel classes, so short-term travel opportunities that are great opportunities to take advantage of. And then lastly, on the academic side of things, we know that this is an investment wherever you go to college. And at Redlands, we want to make sure that that investment is well worth your time. So we have a 4-year promise. We promise and guarantee that you're going to graduate in 4 years and make sure that you're off on your next adventures while you're at the university or beyond the university. So we are known for having a very close-knit campus community. All of our students live on campus in 14 different residence halls throughout their time at the university. We really stress living and learning together is going to benefit you both in and out of the classroom. We're a campus community that is very involved. We have 21 Division III athletic teams. 75% of those teams have placed nationally or competed nationally in the last 5 or 6 seasons, and we're really proud of our athletic traditions. We're known for a lot of school spirit. We're known for a very inclusive academic and inclusive environment, and also one where students are really involved and engaged. Another interesting fact about Redlands is that the community service is integrated into all aspects, including the classroom at the university. We want you to think about how are you going to be involved, how are you going to be connected in lots of different ways after your time at the university? So admissions, we do use the common application and we are test optional. Those are two really important things to know. And as you can see, we have 2 different deadlines with 3 different application plans. So as a couple of folks have mentioned, early decision is that binding plan. Early action is one where you can apply early, but you're not making that same commitment. And most of our students are applying under our regular decision deadline, and that's a great one to follow. I'm that person that reads all of the applications from the state of Washington. I'm also a native Washingtonian and actually have some ties to Spokane as well, which is great. When we're reviewing your application, we'll review you for admission as well as scholarships. Students that are applying test optional, full consideration for scholarships as well. And our scholarships range between $28,000 and $31,000 per year. Lots of opportunities to meet us beyond today, and I hope you'll take advantage of them at Redlands as well as other places. Let me introduce my colleague Addie here. So we have a live mascot. She is actually leading a tour at some point in October. She's a great fun thing to take advantage of. Love to connect with you. Let me know how I can help. And like everyone, we're having a session today after this, and you can see my Zoom information there. Good luck. Thanks.
Excellent. Thanks so much. All right. Next up, we have Florida Southern College.
Yes.
So Florida Southern, go ahead and take over screen share from me real quick. Thanks, Shannon. And another reminder, as you have questions, make sure to type them in through the Q&A. And I'm going to let Shannon take it over from here.
All right. So like you said, my name's Shannon. Everyone should be good to see my screen here.
Not yet. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
All right, we're good.
I'm originally from Washington and have found my way down here to Florida Southern, right in between Orlando and Tampa. We're in a town called Lakeland of about 100 to 110,000 people, but the greater kind of Central Florida area is a super cool place to go to college. I'm really excited to share with you. Florida Southern is a relatively small school. We categorize ourselves as a comprehensive college with a liberal arts core, which means that regardless of whether you're going into like the direct entry nursing program, physical therapy, education, business, arts and sciences, you're going to be getting a really well-rounded education that focuses a lot on practical applications. We do also have some really cool options for advanced study if you're looking at doing a master's of education, getting your MBA, going into accounting. So if you have questions about those or going into pre-med partnerships, stuff like that, I'm here as a resource. Like I said, we really emphasize that hands-on aspect of things. Being a small school, we really make sure that you have a lot of chances to do your own research, whether that's through something like the honors program or being involved in like the Wall Street simulator that you can see down there in the bottom left. So we really emphasize you being actively engaged in what you're doing. One of the other ways that we really make sure that happens is through a process we call the 3 guarantees. These form kind of the backbone of the Florida Southern education. So we guarantee that every single student who comes through Florida Southern will get the chance to study abroad, will do an internship, and graduate in 4 years. So we really want to make sure that when you're coming into Florida Southern, you have all of those options to explore and develop your resume and really make sure you have a great college experience. With that, that means that we see our students have a really good track record of going on to graduate school, getting placed into jobs, stuff like that. There's a very strong undercurrent of kind of career advising and academic advising to make sure that you're staying on top of things and prepared for your next steps after college. But I've talked a lot about what Florida Southern kind of feels like academically. Living on campus, it's a super beautiful place to live. We've been named one of the most beautiful campuses in the country for several years in a row. Down there in the bottom left, you can kind of see where campus is located directly across the street from Lake Hollingsworth. So if you want to grab a kayak or a paddleboard, that's free with your student ID. And otherwise, you're super close to the beaches. You can head into Tampa or Orlando if you want to go to theme parks or Disney World or explore big cities. So it's a really flexible area to live in. In terms of sports, we are a Division II sports session. So if you are interested in playing for one of the Division II teams, reach out to the coaches. If you're like me and you fall over if you try to run too hard, there's plenty of options that are still available to you. You can get involved in club sports or intramurals if those are more your jam. And then kind of activity-wise and Community service-wise, extracurricular-wise, we are a heavily involved campus. So it is, like I said, really hard to be bored in Central Florida. So whether it's getting to go bioluminescent kayaking or swimming with manatees, or working to volunteer here in the Lakeland community, you'll have a lot of opportunities to get involved both on campus and in the surrounding communities. Application-wise, we are on the Common and Coalition application, and we are a free application. You shouldn't need to pay any fees or anything to apply. We're a test optional school for both applications, scholarships, and the honors program. So if you have questions about that, you're more than welcome to let me know. Otherwise, we'll just need a copy of your letter of recommendation and a high school transcript. Scholarships-wise, you're automatically evaluated for merit scholarships when you apply, and those can also be available for students who are artists, musicians in particular sports or different departments from the majors. So if you have questions about scholarships, definitely let me know. Historically, we've also run a program that will help pay for your flight to come down and visit. So if you want to escape Spokane during the winter and come down and visit Florida for an escape from the snow and the cold, that's a really good way to explore that as well. There's a ton of resources available online. So if you want to check out like virtual tours or see some of the videos that the different department heads have put together, it's a good way to get to know some of the professors. And I will wrap up with some information here so you can take a screenshot to grab my contact information as well as my Zoom link for a little bit later. So thank you all very much, and I will pass this over to the next person.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Shannon, for sharing that information. All right, next up, we've got Carroll College. So Carroll can feel free to take over screen share from me here. And as they're doing it, a reminder to use that Q&A to submit all your questions. All right, looks like Hannah's got screen share. Looks great. Take it away, Hannah.
All right, hello everyone. I'm really excited to be talking with you today. My name is Hannah Sylvester, and I am a Carroll graduate of the class of 2019. I'm also a North Central High School graduate, class of 2015, so I'm from Spokane, and I'm just really excited to work with you guys. I am the admission counselor that gets to work with students from the Eastern Washington area, so if you are from Spokane, well, I guess you all are, but since you're from Spokane, I'm the one that will read your essay, kind of work with you through this process, and help you determine if Carroll could be the right fit for you. So if you've never heard of Carroll, we are a small, private, Catholic, liberal arts college that's located in Helena, Montana. So we really focus on academic excellence at Carroll. If you've heard of Carroll before, chances are it's because you might know a nurse or a doctor or a lawyer or someone in Spokane that went to Carroll College. We actually send a lot of our pre-med students to Washington medical schools, UW, WSU, and Pacific Northwest and Yakima, and we do have an 85% acceptance rate to medical and dental schools. We do have a strong kind of emphasis on pre-professional programs. So I mentioned pre-med and pre-dental, but we also have really great stats in pre-vet. So we have a major called anthrozoology, where students actually get the chance to foster a dog for a year in the program, and they work with horses and dogs, and we have 100% acceptance rate to vet school out of that program, which is really great. And we also have things like pre-law, pre-physical therapy, all those good things. So we have really strong advising in those areas, which helps us have such great placement rates in those areas. We are liberal arts, as I mentioned, which means that, you know, if I'm a psychology major, I also take things like math and history, you know, a natural science course, all sorts of things like that. And what that means is that as a Carroll student, you learn to solve problems not just in your own major, but also overall as a whole person. And that makes you really marketable for the job market and for whatever post-grad plans you have. Carroll's a really small school. Our average class size is 14 and our student to faculty ratio is 12:1. So you really get to know those professors, and when they write you letters of recommendation, they really know who you are as an individual, and they've kind of grown with you and learned who you are and what you're passionate about. We do have an undergraduate RN BSN program. Last year we had a 100% pass rate on the NCLEX, which we're really proud of. And that program, we do have direct entry, and you do not have to have a test score for that program. That's been a question I've been hearing about a lot. So like I mentioned, we're located in Helena, Montana, which Since you're in Spokane, it's a pretty good distance away. It's 5 hours, which means that you get independent, you have your own thing, but then you can also drive home when you need to. So it's a good distance away. Carroll in Helena is in a really great spot because we're within walking distance of downtown, which means that you don't necessarily have to have a vehicle, but if you do, there's all sorts of places to explore in Montana. We have a group called CAMP, the Carroll Adventure and Mountaineering Program, where students go out and they kind of explore all that the Montana outdoors has to offer. So in the upper left, you'll see people doing cross-country ski trips and rock climbing there. And we're also in the capital of Montana, which means if you're interested in things like political science or pre-law, there's tons of great opportunities for interning, with the governor's office or Department of Justice or a lot of really awesome places. So in terms of campus life, we do have athletics. We are in the NAIA League, which means that we're kind of the size of a D3 school, but in a different league, and we do have athletic scholarships available. We have all sorts of athletics. If you are involved or interested in a team kind of playing at the collegiate level, please let me know, join my Zoom session after this, and I can help get you connected to those coaches. We do have a pretty vibrant art scene as well. So we have a really vibrant theater program. We have tons of student clubs, and we have about 300 events on campus every year. We are a Catholic school, like I mentioned. You don't have to be Catholic to come to Carroll, but it's a great opportunity to grow in your faith if you are. And if you're not, it's a great opportunity to grow as a whole person. So at Carroll, we don't want you to grow just academically. We want you to kind of think, okay, what do I believe spiritually, and what is my involvement in the world at large? And we kind of want to wrestle with those ideas at Carroll. We do have a lot of Catholic opportunities on campus. We have masses, we have retreats, we have a pilgrimage to Rome that goes every 2 years, and then lots of service opportunities, both in Helena, in Montana, and in the greater US. So hands-on learning and engagement. At Carroll, we don't want you to just sit in the classroom and kind of never challenge yourself or, kind of put these ideas into practice. We have lots of students that do internships. I kind of mentioned, some political science internships, but lots of students do internships depending on their interest. We have research opportunities on campus. Upper right there, that is our Student Undergraduate Research Festival that we host in the spring. And we also have opportunities for global learning. So as a student at Carroll, you'll have the opportunity to study abroad. You could do a semester program, you could travel with your major, or you could do a short-term trip with one of our faculty. Affordability. So Carroll is a private college. That means we don't have in-state or out-of-state tuition. We do have merit scholarships that range from $16,000 to $23,000 a year. And Carroll, like most colleges now, are test optional. So you can apply to Carroll without a test score and still be considered for merit aid. So we have lots of other scholarships on our website as well, but that is kind of the beginning of your scholarship package at Carroll. In terms of next steps, if you kind of have been listening to what I'm saying and you're like, okay, that might fit what I'm interested in, definitely take some time, tell your parents you want to take a little road trip and come see us in Montana. We are hosting in-person tours. Each family has their own tour guide, so they're really small. And we do kind of give you the chance to walk around campus, see what it's like, even in COVID times. We really try to kind of help you get that experience and then apply. So if you are interested in staying in touch, you can take out your cell phone and take a picture of this slide. The Zoom meeting code at the bottom is what I will use for the next hour of Zoom availability. So feel free to jot that down, take a picture, but I'm really excited to hopefully meet some of you. So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Hannah and Carol. Finally, last but not least, we've got Rocky Mountain College for their presentation as well. So Rocky Mountain, feel free to grab over screen share from me. We do have a few minutes at the very end where we will cover general questions, so make sure you're still typing your questions in through that Q&A. And looks like Rocky Mountain took over screen share. Looks beautiful. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Tori, and I work here at Rocky Mountain College admissions office. I'm originally from Post Falls, Idaho, so grew up super close to the Spokane area. So to get started with a little bit about Rocky, we're Montana's oldest institution, founded in 1878. We've actually been around longer than Montana's been a state. We are a private 4-year liberal arts school. We do have a diverse student body on campus, so we're represented by about 48 different states on campus and about 16 different countries. We do have 3 historical church affiliations here: Methodist, United Church of Christ, and the Presbyterian Church, but you don't have to have religion to attend Rocky. And of course, we are accredited by the Northwest Commission. We are located in Billings, Montana, which is the largest city in Montana. We have about 125,000 people in Billings. The great thing about being a smaller school in this large community, there's tons of things to do, whether you're into the outdoors or if you're into fine arts. Of course, being the hub of the region, we have lots of things like shopping, dining, and entertainment as well. So why consider RMC as part of your college search? These are some of the main reasons why students are interested in attending in Rocky here. We have an average financial aid award letter of $24,500, so private school education is definitely very affordable here. We work with students in their financial aid on a one-on-one basis to really try to make Rocky a doable and affordable thing for them if they really want to come. 88% of our students complete an internship here on campus. Super great way to supplement your degree and actually give you some hands-on job-related experience that you're able to apply all the things that you learned in your major in. We do have an 11-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, so one-on-one and personal connections is what Rocky is all about. You'll get to know your professors super well, make connections long-term. None of our classes are taught by TAs or teachers assistants. They're all taught by professors, and we don't have any lecture halls here on campus. Our average class size is 14 students, and it can be even smaller than that in some of your major. This really helps with discussion-based learning as well. If you're interested in things like pre-med, we do have a 90% medical school placement rate for our students. And we do have an overall 98% placement rate upon graduation, either into jobs or graduate programs. We are most recently voted Montana's Best Value Institution by U.S. News and World Report, but we also are a top 10 Best Value University in the Western region. So academics, we offer 52 different majors. Some of our most popular majors, of course, at biology pre-med, but we also offer some super unique programs of study like aviation and equestrian studies, but we also offer things like business, psychology, exercise science, and we do offer all those pre-professional programs as well if you're looking to go into law, physical therapy, dentistry, and we also have a physician's assistant program here on campus at the master's level. So if you're a Rocky graduate, you'll actually get an automatic interview into that program as well. Transformational learning, this is something that Rocky is known for. We really want students to get out and put their major to use. We don't want them sitting in the classroom all day listening to lectures. We want them going out and doing field research and applying the concepts that they're learning in conjunction with their internship, of course. So as you can see here, students doing field research, some of our aviation students actually doing maintenance on planes. So super great way to supplement your degree and not be confined by the walls of the classroom. So student life here on campus, of course, we want students to focus on their academics, but we really want them to have a well-rounded college experience here. So we offer things like intramurals. We offer lots of clubs, like we have a Lego club, Young Women in Business. We also have an outdoor rec program that allows students to go on weekend trips like skiing, rafting, hiking. Great way to get out and experience the outdoors. All of the fees and all of the equipment associated with that would be provided. In addition to that, we do have athletics here on campus. We are NAIA. We do have 17 different men's and women's varsity sports. If you are interested in doing athletics at the collegiate level, please contact me. I played volleyball here at Rocky and be happy to help you with the recruitment process. Of course, we have football, soccer. Our most unique athletic program, we do have a ski team as well, if that's your speed. A little bit about our cost to attend. We don't have in-state or out-of-state tuition. So $29,976 to attend. Those are fees there, include parking, printing, laundry, pretty much anything that you would need. In addition, those are room and meal costs. Those are our most expensive. So great way to also cut costs a little bit by choosing a maybe a little bit less expensive room. Books, 1,300. We do have a great rental program as well, so I would say that's probably a little bit on the high end, and you can definitely go down from there if you rent. Scholarships, lots of scholarships available, special talent, aviation, esports, and music. Those are all by audition. Those range from 500 to 2,000 per year. And then we have our merit scholarships based off of your high school transcript. We are test score optional, and those are also renewable each year that you attend, and you're automatically awarded one at time of admission. We also have RMC Promise, which if you are eligible 3.4 higher and Pell eligible, then you are eligible to have your tuition covered with your other aid. So great thing to take advantage of as well. Timeline, of course, please apply. It is free to apply. If you do have any questions, please contact me or attend my Zoom session. My link is just behind me when you get the chance, but thank you so much, everyone.
All right, thanks so much, Tori. We've got just a few more minutes, and I'm going to invite everyone to keep your cameras on. We're going to do a little bit of a round robin with a question for all of you. We'll go in the same order that you presented. Take about 30 seconds. What is the most famous thing, favorite thing about your campus? So Grand Canyon, what is your most favorite thing about Grand Canyon University?
I got a lot, but one of my most favorite things about GCU is our student section for our sports team. So they are called the Havocs and have like won awards for the craziest student section in the US. But they will like paint their bodies, camp outside of the arena days leading up to basketball games and soccer games, stand the whole time. People like think that we practice cheers, and it's just a wild time, but it makes all of our sporting events really fun, and that campus spirit is just something really special. So that's one of my favorites is the Havocs.
Skylar. Jess, what is your most favorite thing about Pace College?
So it's hard to say for campus-wise since we are two different campuses, but since both campuses have access to New York City, I would say just the accessibility to the entire city, having the city really be your campus, Central Park, Times Square, Madison Square Garden. The New York City campus is right next to the South Street Seaport, which is a cute little area. It's all cobblestone streets. There's buildings where George Washington used to go out to eat back in the day. So really beautiful views right on the waterfront park of the East River. I would say that's my favorite.
Thanks. Anna, what is your most favorite thing about University of Redlands?
Probably the most fun thing about the University of Redlands is that we have a nonsensical chant called the Octomali that you will learn as a first-year student. You do it at the end of when a football team scores, things like that, but it goes Octomali gazal gazump diump diadi hoo, ink de mink diadi dink dink diabrahoo, wing wang tricky tracky poo foo jizu wizu wizu wazo to hang tang, orky porky dominorky Redlands, rah rah Redlands.
I love that. That's great. All right.
I'm going to make you all know it in my session.
Yeah, good luck following that one up, Shannon. What kind of nonsense can you
I don't know if I can beat that, but I do have a couple of really cool things about Florida Southern's campus. The first is that I personally really appreciated where Florida Southern is located. Coming into FSC, never having lived in Florida before, it's a really easy place to explore and really make your college experience what you want it to be. Like if you drive 20 minutes north or south from campus, you're in some super beautiful nature preserves. And then if you go a little bit east or west, you're in two really big cities. So I think it's a really highly flexible location, which is great for college.
Awesome, thanks. Hannah, what's your most favorite thing about Carroll College?
Yeah, I would have to say our faculty here because, having been a student here, I always felt really well cared for and seen, and I never felt like a number. And they're just super helpful. And I think they pursue teaching at a school like Carroll because they really want to be a part of that student experience. And so like I applied to med school this year and just had, great times like asking for letters of rec and really getting to know those faculty members throughout your 4 years at Carroll. So I definitely say our faculty.
Cool, thanks. Last but not least, Tori, what's your most favorite thing about Rocky Mountain College?
Yeah, the most thing, I'll go the campus route just for to go away a little bit from the faculty because of course, I was going to say something very similar to Carroll, but I'll say probably our campus. We get comments a lot that our campus kind of looks like Hogwarts and has a very castle-y feel. All of our buildings are made out of sandstone. That's actually a picture of it's right behind me, made out of the Rimrocks here in Billings. So super unique feel to campus. It's a very park-like setting, which is very nice and welcoming.
Excellent. Thank you all so much. I've learned something. Students, I hope you've learned something as well. Thank you all for taking your time to tune into this T24 program. We encourage you to check out the individual Zoom links that are happening the next hour with all of these institutions. So go ahead and join them if you'd like to have a little chat with each institution individually. And as you close this window, there's a very quick 4-question survey that will appear. We ask for your feedback. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.